you're seeing on the right is the first time I went to Dubai. Before I ever had been to Eco Suites and Hotel. And Ubon King said to me, he said, I want you to say a vow. He's the first mentor that made me say vows. I want you to say a vow and a charge to me that you will go to Dubai in 1 year. He was teaching me about vision. And he was telling me that the height you stand in life affects your vision very much. And I held his hand that day. It was raining at Echo Suites and Hotel. I'll never forget. And I said, I will go. But people, how will I go to the Dubai? I didn't even have money. I came back to Ghana. I was in a place called Jinyasi in Kumasi where we started our business. And what I did was I started feasting my mind on videos of Dubai. There is no book of His Royal Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, the ruler of Dubai. There is no book of his I've not read. Maybe he's yet to write it. Because the thing is that when you start engaging those concepts, you actually become and embody them. So your mind has the ability to take you to a place before you get there. So God said to Abraham, as far as you can see. So I took time off and studied Dubai. I knew the ins and outs of business class, yet I had never boarded business class. And what happened? It was just a matter of time. By the time I engaged the right principles and strategies, I got there. The first thing that happened to me is that whenever you think of a thing, there are three levels of desires. The first is that you want a thing. A lot of you want things. Many of you do not choose things. That is the second level of a desire. So the first level of any desire that you have is that you want it. The second level of a desire is that you choose it. So a lot of us operate in the want realm. When you want a thing, oh, we want it for wanting sake. When you choose it, you begin to now go into the nitty-gritties of what you want. So if let's say you want to do real estate, a lot of you may want it because you fancy the lifestyle that comes with it. But then if you want to choose it, then now you need to want to understand, okay, if I want to acquire land, how do I get it? If I want to do real estate, is it commercial or is it residential? So now the moment you begin to question those things, you have started choosing. Then now you graduate into the third realm of desire. It's called commitment. So you want a thing, you choose a thing, then you commit to it. They commit you like 70,000 to go there. When I found out that at the time it was 6,002 and I could do deposits with a travel agency, I said, then travel is easy. And I remember that same day, I decided every year I'll travel because exposure has what it does to your mind. And by the time I started committing by making sure that every month I was giving travel planners that 500 Ghana cedis, I found myself in the Dubai that I thought of. So everything in life is built twice. First in your mind and second in reality. Your mind is the authorized escort to lift you from one realm to the other. Now, next thing you're seeing is this is currently a project that we're currently working on as a company. It is the tallest residential apartment in East Legon Hills currently with 6 floors. And if you heard me earlier when I spoke about the man called Dr. Steven, there's so much to speak concerning this project. We'll talk about it another time. But this thing here is a function of the mind. I remember those days I would come from Jinyase, and then my friend AJ Kofi would go by Despite's house. Despite lives around here. And Chris, I will park in the Uber and I'll be watching his house. And I'll ask myself, did the man build this one? I would watch it every day. My principle was very simple. We all with open faces, beholding. So I'll come and behold, then I'll go. I'll come, then I'll come and behold. One time I went back to Jinyasi and I told the guys, I said, we are relocating our business from Kumasi to Accra. When we come, we are coming to live at East Legon. I don't know how we'll live there. And then I said to them, we'll come to East Legon as tenants, we'll live as landlords. The power of words. My mind took the lead to being a landlord before I actually became a landlord. The period in between is what we call process. So it's very, very important. Your mind is God's biggest gift to you. Now, the thing about the mind is that your programming leads to your thoughts. Your thoughts leads to your feelings. Your feelings lead to your actions. Your actions become your reality. I call this the process of manifestation. Your programming leads to your thoughts. Your thoughts leads to your feelings. Your feelings lead to your actions. Your actions become your reality. Every reality in your life you're uncomfortable with, check your programming. Every single reality in your life that you're uncomfortable with, check your programming. So your programming leads to your thoughts. Your thoughts lead to your feelings lead to your actions become your reality, which means that if you don't act on a thing, you will never see it manifest. For those of you that always mortgage the success of your lives to prayer and fasting, it doesn't work that way. So the process of manifestation. Now, the thing about the mind is that you are programmed in three foundational ways. Every human being in this world is programmed three foundational ways. The first way in which you are programmed is what we call modeling. Modeling. What did you see? What have you been seeing? What will you see about any subject matter in life? So for some of you, you can never be in healthy relationships because every time you saw relationships between your parents, it was them in a fight. So for you, it is never normal that two people can live together and then there will be peace reigning through and through. It's never a reality in your world. Modeling. For some of you, you can never give a certain amount of money to God or anything because psychologically, every time your mother got money, she placed it in her brazier. So when she put it there in your mind, money is very hard to come by because every modeling, it is a way in which we are programmed. So about success, what have you seen concerning it? That's the first way in which we are programmed. The second way in which we are programmed is what I call verbal programming. So what did you hear? What have you heard? What will you be hearing? The game of life is played on the field of the mind. The people who speak to you matter a lot. The people who speak to you, when I thought of fill the UPSA Auditorium, I shared it with Futurist Kwame and I shared it with Chris. The moment I shared it with Chris, he said, let's do it. I gave Chris a date last year, and because of Solara, I couldn't do it. He called me, he said, Nadia Nyanye, didn't we do it? I said, we shifted it to next year. He said, the people who speak into your life, it is very important. Verbal programming. Some of you grew up in environments where your mothers will tell you, "Sikanya habaine atitini diaso," which means for my diasporan folks, I have people joining me from Nigeria, I have people joining me from, shouts to my brothers in war from coming all the way to Accra from Nigeria. I have people joining us from the States through Makeda. So we have a wide audience today. So what I basically said was that some of us grew up in environments where our mothers would tell us that money does not grow on trees. So psychologically, it's settled in your mind that money is very hard to come by. Verbal programming. The last one is what I call specific incidents. There are some of you, there are things that consciously and consciously shaped your perspectives and your programmings. So I met someone one time and the person said to me that rich people are very evil. I said, no, rich people are very good people. He said, rich people are evil. I said, okay. By the time we had the discourse, she had a rich uncle who actually had money at the time and then couldn't pay for her mother's hospital bills and her mother died. So she ascribes pain of the mother to the rich uncle who didn't give her. So rich people are evil. It doesn't work that way. It is called verbal, it is called specific incidents. The other day, I was watching a documentary of American rapper Lil Baby, and he was teaching his son Jason mathematics. So he brings out $100,000. And basically, when he brought out $100,000, he told a 5-year-old boy to deduct 25,000. Then he asked him how much is left. He said $75,000. That day I paused. It was, I paused. Chris, it was my meditation for the day. I went up, I said, Jason, mass, $100,000. Me, when I was 5 years, oh, I bury ya. Minka ni tree, abroche for no monte ase. Oh, I bury ya. Now, my mea catcher say, Mefino, ye be hata, near the soja. A benomen tungu, the bear mass homework. And as a utuko canoa, countess, no, what the bear mass homework. So I paused that day and then I said, assuming I have a son, my son will learn maths with dollars. So I'm like, if I had a son and my son was learning maths with countess, and he ever meets Jason in a world of business, will he ever compete? Jason at 5 years has conquered $100,000. His mind has seen it. His father has showed it to him. He has handled it. And you see, the thing is that what you see and you handle there. If you are very, very conscious of these truths that I'm sharing with you, you will live here being very intentional about the things that you allow to enter your head. Last week, Sunday, my mentor was speaking to me and he said something. He said, We live in a world where everything you hear, you have to prove it. When he said that on Sunday, I left and I went back and I asked myself, what criteria do I need to put in place? What metric do I need to put in place to prove the things that I hear and see? It's very, very, very important. And so they call me MBA, Moses Biata. I also believe that in this is also my assignment, that MBA also means mindset brings achievements. I'm trusting God that by the time we walk through the 7 universal currency, you're going to have a complete perspective of this thing called life. And most importantly, go out there to become that person who would think bigger, to dream louder, and act bolder. The next universal currency you need to know about is called the universal currency of time. Whenever God wants to help a man, the first thing he does to a man is that he gives him wisdom to understand his time. Whenever God wants to help a man, the first thing that God does to the person is that he gives him wisdom to understand his time. Why? Because the unit of a man's destiny is time. Whatever affects time, whatever very wise. Which is why when any of the people I invited here gave me their time, it is something that meant a lot to me. Time is one of the most precious currencies that God has blessed our generation with. And you want to learn how to maximize it very well as a young person. And some of these systems of advantages that I'm speaking to you about is what will make the difference for you. If you wonder how a 29-year-old guy is doing the things he does, it's because I understand some of these dynamics to mix the difference. So every man has 4 seasons in his life. There's the morning season of your life, and there's the night season of your life. There's the morning season of your life. There is the afternoon season of your life. There's the evening season of your life. And then there's the night season of your life. The morning season of your life, ages 0 to 25. So, ages 0 to 25, you get to know your purpose, or you identify what we call purpose. So, it's a season of your life where you build serious capacity. The morning season of your life. The afternoon season of your life, ages 26 to 50. In that season of your life, you get to a place where you build and you acquire. So 26 to 50 is an acquisition year. It's a period of your life where you build quality relationships that would catapult your destiny to the next level. It's a season where you build solid things that will make sure that your life in the 50s will look glorious. So it's a season where you build, it's a season where you acquire. Then you move to the evening season of your life. The evening season of your life is from ages 50 to 65. What you do in that period of your life, you establish what you built. Then it leads you from 65 upwards into the night season, into what I call your legacy years or your inheritance years. The thing we've just been told that, he said, the people of Israel, they knew the acts of God. Moses knew the ways. And so I say, follow who know what. Future is determined by your perspectives and actions that you take today. You don't have any other time other than today. So it's very, very important. Now, if you want to be, there are 3 things that you need to understudy. You need to understudy history. You need to understudy war. You need to understudy enterprise. If you want to be a master at life, there are 3 things that you need to understudy. You need to understudy history, you need to understudy war, and then you need to understudy enterprise. The reason why war is very important is because life is a battle. You are a constant battling every day. The other day, somebody said, I got born again and things have gotten rough. Is it like God has forsaken me? I told the person, I said, have you forgotten Paul said, we wrestle not against flesh and blood? In this kingdom, we are restless. We will forever wrestle. Keep wrestling. So, if you look at history, the oldest man that's ever lived is a mess. And the psalmist, it says in, I think, Psalm 90 or so, Moses says that 1,000 years is a day in God's sight. 1,000 years is a day in God's sight. Methuselah didn't live up to 1 day in God's eyes. He lived 969, which means he probably led and lived his life for about maybe 23 hours. And then it dropped from Methuselah's time to 120. Then it dropped to 70. So I'm sure if you live like 70 years, you've probably done maybe 23 minutes in the eyes of God. Does that not look like the seasons of your life? Methuselah lived 969. He didn't live up to a day. A day is morning, afternoon, evening, and night. So in Nigeria, when somebody died, they say good night. This is the reason why you will not joke with your time when you live here. This is the reason why you will not let age be a limitation for you. This is the reason why you will not let the family and the background you come from be a limitation for you. This is the reason why you live here today, going out there and understand that your time may be limited because you can't even tell how long you have left. And that is why when we think a thing, we do it. When we think it, we manifest it. When you meet a dying rich man today and you ask him what he wants, he will not tell you he wants cars and house, more time. So time is of the essence and time is very, very important. The third universal currency you need to know about is the universal currency of light. I break this down into vision, wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. I'm going to speak to us about vision and knowledge and then we carry on. Now, your success in life is primarily hinged on your vision. There are only two times your Bible says that a man perished. The first one, he said, where there is no vision, the people perish. Then the next one, he says that for lack of knowledge, God's people, they perish. So vision is the distinguishes. So I've heard of the American vision or the American dream. I've heard of the Dubai vision. I've heard of the France vision. I have never heard of the Ghanaian one. The other day I said to myself, I said, there is sand in Ghana. There is sand in Dubai. Why do we pay thousands of dollars to go and watch the sand in Dubai? And the one in Ghana, we don't pay for it. That is because the sand that is in Dubai, which is a resource or a skill or however you call it, has been put into a certain vision driven activity. So it is bringing in inflows. The sand here, if you do not have a vision for that graphic design skill, you would amount to nothing. Celebrate that. Every skill you have, every vision, every skill you have, every gift you have, what is the vision driven activity for it? Because resources are not, resources become. So when you have a vision, you must create what we call the roadmap to that vision. So a lot of you have visions, but you don't even have timelines for it. The roadmap is very simple. Let's assume myself and COD are driving from here to Kumasi. And as we're going from here to Kumasi, COD is driving a 2001 Camry. I'm driving a 2025 G Wagon, a God Wagon for that matter. And we're all going from here to Kumasi. It is expected that because I have the best of cars or the best of resource, I get to Kumasi before him. But believe you me, if I lack vision of where we are going to and how to get there, COD with his 2001 Camry will get there and I'll still be here because he has the roadmap to get there before me, irrespective of your resource. So vision is important, but what activity is it called knowledge? I made up a decision in my life a very long time ago. I will never approach anything in my life with common sense because common sense will always produce common results. So when I don't understand a thing, I want to study it to understand. It is very, very important. The gaps in our understanding is oftentimes what is responsible for the fluctuations in our results. Every single time there is a fluctuation in any result you are producing, there is a gap in your understanding. You have to go back and go and study. Which is why your coming to university or your being in presec or whatever does not end your learning. Every wealthy person I know is learning. Every wealthy person I know is becoming better. But you, Kwame Ahe, you said you don't want to learn. Oh, as for me, I don't like to read books. You know, when you are reading the books, but you can watch Nollywood. And then you say, Achalogo. You watch Nollywood and you say, Achalogo. I will marry you. Okay. Decide from today that you would study any subject matter you are deficit about. Go and learn about it. It is very, very important. It is the key to your rising. Things will come to your rising, be much you know. There's a popular Snapchat sound. Also, when we see Kenny Kwasiada, it is very, very important. The next universal currency you need to know about is the universal currency of relationships. Look to the person sitting by you and tell the person your vibe. I can't hear you. Your vibe attracts your tribe. your vibe attracts your tribe. So ask the person, what is your vibe? What did the person say? The value of a relationship is the value you bring to a relationship, not what you extract from it. The value of a relationship is the value you contribute and bring to that relationship, not what you extract from it. Sadly, we live in a generation where people want to withdraw from relationships they've had relationship and understand that value means different things to different people. So you need to know the value that is at play in that relationship and contribute it. Be an active contributor. Don't just become somebody who sits down and then take from that relationship. No, you don't do that. Relationships are very, very, very important. I always say that outside of your born again experience, one of the things you can build as a system of advantage is relationships. Joseph is caught in prison. He becomes an active contributor to somebody who was in the prison who knew the then president of Egypt. The person comes out of prison, and when the person came out of prison, the person is brought back into the office of the presidency in Egypt in that day. And then they are looking for somebody to solve it. And then the butler he brought out says, I know a man. I know a man speaks of pool of Bethesda, by the pool of Bethesda. That man laid there every year. An angel will come and stir the waters. When he was encountered and then he was asked, why is it that you're always here? He said, I have no man. Speaking of relationships, you don't want to do life to get to a place where you ever say to yourself, you have nobody. It's dangerous, which is why you have to be an active contributor from today. The other day, Laban said, I have learned by experience that the Lord has blessed me because of you, Jacob. And that's how come, for those of you who are my very close mentees, I'll tell you that there are certain men in your life. When they offend you, you are the one that is supposed to go back and go and apologize to them. Why? Because you should be able to discern what you bring to your life and what others bring to it, and honor what they bring to it. True honor starts with discernment. So, what is honor? Honor is your ability to discern, to celebrate, and to reward a man for his unique and distinct difference in your life. So, some of you are here, you don't even know how to honor the people that God has blessed you with. You will lose them. One of the things that I always pray to God for grace for is to be able to discern the people that He's blessed me with so that I can give them their due honor. And no better way than a man that I met earlier this year, Apostle Joshua Selman, puts it this way. He says that all blessings come from God. Oh, you want to celebrate? You can celebrate if you want to. Apostle Joshua Selman says that all blessings come from God through men to men. The other day I said to my mentee Samuel, I said, when we pray every prayer, a what? A what? Men, a what? So when you are done praying, you say a. So you need men. One chibano. Oya rapanka beka bas. Men are very important. Men are very, very important. There are three main kinds of relationships you need, but I'm going to even go to the fourth one. In life, when you want to excel very well in business, entrepreneurship, and in everything, you need four categories of people: the collaborators, those who do things together; the creators, those who do things first; the controllers, those who do things right; the competitors, those who do things fast. You need all of these four in your space if you want to win. But the most important question is, out of these four, which one are you? Because your ability to know who you are will determine what you put to yourself. So you see me, I'm the create guy. I like to create things. God has blessed me with that thing. So I will cook it right now. Then the next thing is, no. So now that I've cooked, failed the UPSA, can help me do what? So I'll go to Kojo and I'll say, Kojo, please cook the video ad for me. Then Kojo's contribution has come. The video ad you saw was done by my brother Kojo. Can you please celebrate him for that one? The one you saw all over TV. Then I'll go to MX24. I'll go like, okay, now that we are done with that thing, we want media visibility. I've created it. Come and add your contribution. Then I reach out to all the amazing lineup of trailblazers and speakers. And I said, please give me a bit of your time on this day and come and add your voice to it because you have built something amazing. And they did. And then I reached out to you who is here to also show up. Are you the guy who creates? Are you the guy who controls? Are you the guy who does things together? You need to know which one you are. It will help you align yourself very well in destiny and in life. It's very, very important. Now, there are two relationship leveraging methods that I use to achieve my goals. The first is utility leverage, the second is value leverage. Relationships to get things done. So I can travel and be confident that work will happen because there are people we have leveraged who have bought into the vision and will get the work done. So your traveling does not mean that your business is on hold. Value leverage is leveraging relationships to increase your value in the eyes of others. This. So you see, I just showed you a picture of Apostle Joshua Selman praying for me. Instantly, my value in all of your eyes went up. So you started clapping. I didn't ask you to clap. It's called value leverage, which is why you have to build good and quality relationships. Which is also the reason why when I see a thing, when I see a person, and I want to go after the person, and I say, this person must teach me this, I'll go and learn. You need to develop that hunger in you. People were complaining that they can't come to Accra, yet people were entering bus to come from Togo and Benin to come here. Yet people were in Ghana. They said they can't come. Even when we were providing free buses, they were saying they can't come because then there are 12 key ways to build and leverage relations. God built a business in 6 days. He retired on in his place, which means that even in God's system, there was chaos, but he handled it. God is the greatest entrepreneur, me. I know. I don't know about you. And there's no great business person who is doing amazing. Guy, you want to do this thing called guy, you want life, you need to have your own personal relationship and know God. In that, I found how to practice the presence of God. Amazing person. The next person I'll bring to your screen is a man called Ubon King. He was born in 1972. He died in 2020. I wish this morning I was just reflecting on how the day would be, and then I said, I wish Ubon King was here to see this. He was the first person to ever look me and said, I went to Tincation. So let me give you a story. I saw this man years ago. In one night, I saw a video of his that says that productivity starts at night, implementation is in the daytime. It hit me. I said, who is this guy? So I started studying him. I went to YouTube. I understudied all his videos he had. I had a diary. I wrote everything I learned from all his YouTube videos. Then I found out that he had an event he used to do in Nigeria called Thinkation. So as a public speaker, I was looking for somebody who would do the crowd that I wanted to see. And this man, I said, okay, I'll go to Nigeria. So I remember that time very well. I didn't have money. So quickly, when I thought of the Nigeria, I said, hey, this Nigeria, how will I go? I went to check flight. It was very expensive. That time I couldn't afford. Yet I think it was just about 1,008 then. I couldn't afford. It was too expensive, but I was determined to go. So I said, this Nigeria car, what are the... Then they said there's bus. I said, oh, bus can go. Oh, we'll go. So I came to Accra. I went to Circle. I went to God is Good. I said, how much? They said 500 cities. I said, hey, 500 cities. Okay. God bless my wife. So I called my wife instantly. Then she was my girlfriend. And then I said, babe, have you taken your salary? He said, why? I said, the bunking that I want to go and see, I found the way it's cheap. He said, how much? I said, 500 cities. She was very generous. When she received the salary from Cowbank, she sent me the 500 cities. So when she sent it, I said, God, you have brought helper. I came straight to Accra. I came to book God is Good. Now, how will I get money for Airbnb? I've never been to Nigeria before. So I called another friend of mine. She's called Benedicta. I said, hey, you don't know, Jesus' ministry was the women that were helping him. Oh. So I called another Benedicta friend and then I said, I need money for Airbnb. She said, oh, you always believe in what you do. So she also sent money. I said, it's done. If I have to walk to Accra to enter the bus, I'll walk. My father, I said, Daddy, I'm going to Nigeria by flight. He said, oh, really? Because I entered Nigeria for the first time. And then my father had messaged, how is it? What is happening? Then I said, Daddy, Ghana won't say a similar. When I got to Nigeria, it was not working. Until I found Obiama Ghana, Nigeria, sorry. I had arrived safely. Then I went to Bonking's event. This man was the first man I saw pack 7,000 people to speak to them. I said, no, I have to encounter this man. So when the conference was happening, they asked the question about Ghana. I tried to answer some. When we finished everything, the bodyguard had gathered around him. I said, me, I have to meet this man today. And Ubonkin, he used to run a security company, so he had huge guys. They held hands like this. I tried to put my head under, then the guy used his elbow to hit me. I have never felt pain like that in my life. When he hit me, I screamed. I said, Sana, to see you. Then he turned. Then he told the bodyguards, Lower. He said, you said what? I said, sir, I came all the way from Ghana. I entered bus to come and see you. He said, you don't mean it. I said, "Yeah, is it your first time?" He said, hold on, you are my special guest. Sit here. Then he saw that my hand was here. He said, sorry for the pain. I said, it's okay, it's okay. Then later he came back. He said, have they given you food? I said, nobody knows me, oh, so I'm here. So, oh, bring him cake. This is my special guest from Ghana. When he finished, then he said, so what do you do? I showed him a video of what I was doing in Ghana at the time with Entrepreneurship Hub Africa. And he said, how old are you? I said, I'm 23. He said, wait, you are doing what a 46-year-old man is doing at 23. I will come to Ghana because of you. And that was how Ubon King came. But he said, what do you do? And I showed him something. Young people, document your process. It's very important. Document your process. So that's a brief story about Ubon King. This man you're seeing here, there are days I go through the pain that does not have a voice. He's the one who can tell. So I always say every man needs an Oscar in his life. This outfit you're seeing me wearing, the outfit you saw me wear earlier, was made by his company. That's my very good covenant brother. He's the co-founder and CEO for Afrimad Atlantic, and then he's the co-founder and CEO for Oscar Davis Couture. So everything you're seeing me wear, his company made it. And probably I've known him since I was in university first year. So it's over 10 years of amazing brotherhood and friendship with this man. He keeps me very sane and sound. Sometimes when you are crazy in your thoughts like that, just 2 days ago, I said after UPSA, I'll do something. Last night we were driving. He said, I think that after UPSA, you should do this and do this and do this and do this and do that. Then we do this. And I was like, this is wisdom. And he embodies the God currency so much. You need God friends, so people. Life can be very, very some way. And then lastly, I spoke about this man earlier, Dr. Stephen Debrah-Ablormeti. The beautiful thing about this man is I've never met a millionaire who is this humble, but he's such a great person who embodies God. He's a pastor at ICGC Light Temple. That is the universal currency of God. God, God means so much to us. And we always say that we are nothing without God because even in the build up of our company, we put God in there. So build our company. We said, okay, we'll be three partners. A for God, who is the Alpha. Frame is Oscar Frimpong. So we took the frame. I'm Arthur, Arthur. So we took the ART and we came up with Afrimat Atlantic. So when you see Solara Residence and you say we are going fast, we are backed by God. The seat one, the last but one currency, and I drive this conversation home, is the physical universal currency. You cannot dress like a suspect when you are going to look for a prospect for your business. You'll be arrested. You cannot dress like a suspect when you are going to look for a prospect for your business. You will be arrested. Dress well. Tell the person sitting by you, dress well. Is the person dressing well? Or is the person dressed well? Your outlook is very, very important. There are two perspectives to the physical universal currency. Your outlook. I always say that your smile is your logo, your personality is your business card, the way you make others feel is your trademark. So you see the trademark of all of this, we call it the MBA effect. So the physical universal currency. In business entrepreneurship, your aura opens the door. Your aura is how you dress. Your aura is how you carry yourself about. When your aura opens the door, content gives you a seat at the table. How much of what do you think you know? Kings want knowledgeable people around them. They surround themselves with people who are of value. Then, when content gives you a seat at the table, execution makes you stay at the table. A generation where we talk a lot, but we do nothing because you have data. So you can go and talk about somebody. Success is very personal. Set responsibility. And from today's taking full charge of that response, they are preparing. They have a vision for their football academy for World Cup. In the last 3 or 4 World Cups that have been played, France will always be in the top 4. They have a vision for the soccer team. So his father put him there. He won World Cup. My legend Cristiano Ronaldo had not won some because of advantageous positioning. So he says he shall be like a tree planted by rivers of living waters. Strategic positioning is important. Very, very important. There are certain businesses you do in certain places, it will not thrive. You cannot tell me that you want to go to the north, no shade, and go and sell a luxurious 5-bedroom house for $1 million. Nobody will buy. And you see, every gift that God has blessed you with has its geographical capital. You need to identify your gift and the geographical capital that works with it, which is the reason why if you're a speaker in Ghana is good. But you see, this gift, it does not flourish in Ghana. There are environments that help the gift. When you hear Vusi Tembikwayo speak and he tells you that at age this, he won World Public Speaking Championship, you are learning Ga and Tree. The environment is different. Are we all on the same page? Let me make it more tangible. Can I have a lady come from here and then maybe the last wing? Random, anyone. 2 pretty ladies should come. Okay. This one is coming. She's coming. Okay. Please hurry up. Join me on stage. By the time I'm done, you know why. All right. So I have 2 papers in my hand. Who would pick first? Okay, pick. Okay, you pick. All right. Open it. Miss Ghana, please come. And then this is Miss USA. All right. So permit me to bring out $100 bill. So this is $100. Miss USA have it. This is 100 CDs. Please lift it up. Guys, observe something. Notice that I gave them each in terms of quantity the same 100, but in terms of value, they are not the same because of environment. So the US environment permits that $100 cities, the environment alone. Do you know the beauty? You and I live in an environment where you can be very much digital and access this, irrespective of your environment. Do we get it? So your environment is very, very important, which is why the business you do is also important. My mentor told me, don't sell what will not bring you out of poverty. So I gave them 100. I gave Miss Ghana 100 CDs. No, 100. I gave Miss USA 100. Both is 100, 100, but the value is not what? The same. All right. Kindly take your CD. You can keep it. Hey, somebody said, I wish I should have gotten up. All right. All right. I'm hearing the guy say gender bias. Don't say gender bias. How many times do you hear Mr. Ward? And how many times do you hear Miss Ward? All right. The seventh universal currency you need to know about is the universal currency of money. Making money is an action, maintaining it is a behavior, multiplying it is knowledge. Making money is an action, maintaining it is a behavior, multiplying money is knowledge. What you do to make money is not what you do to multiply money. Making money is an action, which is the reason why if you don't do, you'll be poor. If you don't act, you'll be poor. Maintaining it is a behavior. I had a very meaningful 1 hour conversation with Anthony Dzramefe before this event. When I went back, I said, what a gift, what a man. He gave some very beautiful perspectives to wealth. I said, that is the kind of life me I want to live. Oh. That you can be working low key, $10 million in your account, breathing comfortably, and nobody can tell that you have 10M. Or you own some 7 islands somewhere, and nobody will even know. Some of you, you are praying, God bless me. You see, the reason why God has not blessed you, if He brings you $1 million today, you commit suicide. You will blow the money. So you see, sometimes what God does for you is that He puts you through process. Before we started real estate, I went to somebody and I requested for a certain amount of money. And the person was like, oh, look at it this way. Then I sat down with my mentor, and which is why I love his wisdom. And then he said, you know what? There's an investor that will give you this and this and this and that. So go and do this and come and let's have a meeting. So I was pumped up. Me, and one of the things I always say is that don't teach me something. When you teach me something, I told Futurist Kwame that all the things that you have taught me, if you have taught anybody and the person said is a lie, you there come and call me. I'll be proof to the person because the person just didn't do. So when Doc said that thing, I said, okay. Then we had a meeting with Doc. Doc said this, that, that, that. I said, okay. I went back. Now, when we started the actual project, I went back to read some of the charts one night. Then I said, I was not ready to handle the money. God had to walk me through a certain process to be able to now come to a place where I say, I can handle this. Maintaining money is a behavior, and that is where a lot of people lose out on it. Multiplying it is knowledge. To multiply money is hidden in a certain wisdom you don't know. It's as simple as that. There are men who are custodians of that wisdom. And when God blesses you and you come in contact with them and they teach you like this, your life can turn around for good. And the beauty is that if you are a man who also has a good heart, you duplicate that in others so that the ripple effect keeps growing. So making money is an action, maintaining it is a behavior, multiplying it is knowledge. The thing about life is that everything you are looking for is also looking for you, but not this version of you. There are various versions of you that must evolve at every point in time to access anything you have ever dreamed of. So if you're looking for a Range Rover, trust me, there's a Range Rover looking for you too. But what version of you must you embody to own that Range Rover? Because if you want to service the Range Rover car alone, only God is the reason why when a lot of people come into balloon success, they lose it and then they come back as though they had nothing because they never evolve. The thing about rich people is that when a rich man wants to think or when a rich man wants to do something, he thinks of how he can become. So he thinks of how he can become in order to have to do. When a poor man wants to do something, he thinks of how he can have in order to do to become. So what now Jabeka say, hey, say minyeskapa, may say, sikanem badda. You must become, which is why you're becoming and you're evolving as a young person is very important. And that is why you don't want to joke with conferences like this. And at the very core of my person, which is why we made everything here free. So your becoming is very important. Now, we're interested to know that Jesus spoke about 55 parables in his life as he walked this short earth. 45 of his parables was about business and money. 31 of these parables was centered on only money. Jesus spoke about money more than heaven and hell. The Jesus you and I serve. Listen. Money makes the message you carry very convincing and it amplifies your effect. Everything you are seeing here is screaming money. So I have a burning desire in my heart. I want to be of a blessing to someone, but money must come to play. Which is why you have to determine that as you are living here, this currency called money, you will contend to have some. Last 2 weeks, I happened to be in a certain place praying for a dear lady. And when I entered the place and the lady was in the sick bed and they said she's on life support, after praying and everything, when I sat down, I was quiet. I said, life support, it means the support is what is keeping her alive. In some families, when there's life, when there's such a, it's very important. I have two gifts for you today. I've already given some. We'll keep giving more. I'll come back and come and talk to us about how to enter the businesses for funding, and then we give us some laptops, and then we wrap it up for the day. But I have two. The story of Pizzaman Chicken Man. A lot of you may not know him, but those of us that know, you know that he's an embodiment of wisdom. My dear brother, Futurist.